And I'm Paul. Welcome to Techie Dads. And today we're going to talk a bit about a network attached storage device, which Pez's invested in recently.
Yeah, so I bought a Synology, did my research. There was QNAP and Synology. Those seem to be like the two leading flavors.
So why'd you go with Synology then?
Yeah, I mean, in my reviews, it came down to one was really good at tinkering, so that was the QNAP. The Synology was you just plug it in and it worked, right?
Okay.
And both have a really healthy community of third-party apps, and they have their own custom apps, which do some really neat stuff. And the things that I really wanted to buy, that I bought a NAS for, was one, I wanted to get rid of having a computer powered that was my backup and my Plex and my my general distribution of files. I wanted to move that to a smaller device. I wanted the flexibility of the same things that I had with the Drobo. So if something went wrong, I'd get notified. I could throw another drive in.
But the difference is, I mean, this is effectively a mini server. It's a PC. It's got processor in it. And it's got software to allow you to run different services. So not only is it doing the backups that the Drobo was doing, but it's also, well, you can talk about some of the services, right? Media server and things.
Yeah. So I mean, and then the other thing I needed to run is, as you heard me say in previous episodes, I'm a big fan of Plex, and we got to do a blog post and all that on Plex. But I needed something that could run Plex. So they both can do it. Yeah. Just checking out the forums, a lot of people seem to have less problems with the Synology when it came to Plex, transcoding of files, and so on. So I decided to go with that. They're about the same price. I ended up getting the 916, which is a little bit a high-end one, but I chose that one versus some of the other versions just because I wanted a more powerful processor. I've got a lot of different files in MK4, or MKV, MP4, M4V,
right.
AVI, blah, blah, blah. So, and I wanted that to work on all my devices. And what Plex does is it can transcode on the fly. So I really wanted to take advantage of that.
You got 4 bays, and I mean, you could get less if you wanted, but...
So plug this thing in. It runs Plex primary wonderfully. Right now I'm trying to get CrashPlan working on it so I don't have to back up to a PC to back everything up. So we'll get there. Tons of apps. The user interface is really, really simple. It's a web-based interface that looks like you're running an OS. So they do really well there. It comes with some surveillance licenses, so I can hook up some IP cameras to it and so on. So I've got 2 hooked up right now, and I'm just fiddling around with it, which work really, really well. There's a whole bunch of third-party communities that you can bring in additional apps. So it's a small device. It works really well. It's really quiet. Doesn't generate a lot of heat, which is some side benefits. Gigabit, two ports. And it's, I can add more bays as my storage.
I'll put a note, because I was doing some research just coincidentally on Synology as well, although I haven't pulled the trigger on any of them yet. There's a pretty good listing on Plex's site, actually, of compatibility listing, saying, what features you could look for if you're looking for 1080p transcoding and some of the formats that you mentioned. These are the models that you would want for Synology or the other brands that Plex supports. So that's a good thing to note. And then I think the other thing is to make sure if you do use a cloud backup provider that they support the NAS, right?
Yeah, right now there's not a lot to do it, but
I can see why they don't, because they're trying to. If it's like the provider I use who charges by PC to get backup, if you're consolidating that on a NAS, you're getting around that plan.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even on CrashPlan's unsupported site, they walk you through how to set up a headless server, which is really what a NAS is. Right. So I'm working through that right now. It's got some really neat apps. I mean, I have my own cloud sync, so kind of like your own version of Dropbox, where I have an app that runs in each one of my PCs, whether it's Linux, Windows, or Mac. Yeah. It creates a little folder there. You drop anything on there, it will replicate that across your account on other machines as well as on the NAS. So I've got my own cloud going on there, which is kind of neat. And that works. Cloud. The Pej Cloud is very popular. Sign up now. Everyone says it's the best. It's the greatest.
Except no one can use it except you.
Yeah, so no one can use it but me. It's got some, you can stand up your own DNS. Not a lot of people would need that, but I've got a DNS running for the home. It can run Docker, so for I'm just playing around and doing some stuff there, which is kind of neat. So I mean, there's a lot of other benefits in there. It's basically, to your earlier comment, it's a mini PC that's tuned to run certain types of apps.
And expect to pay that, right? So to put it in perspective, you can pay, $300-400 and up for the NAS, and then you got to pay for every drive that you put in this thing, in terabytes, whatever, $80-90 now. Yeah,
they're cheap now, but it will add up depending on what you get. So if you're looking to get a NAS, definitely look at QNAP or Synology. I love Synology right now. It's working really well. I'm really happy with my decision, though that could be buyer's remorse, right? Because I doled out the cash. The reason I went with the 916 versus I was looking at the 416, which is another really good model, is I just wanted a little bit more memory and I wanted to go with a better processor, improved processor, just because of the transcoding. But if transcoding, you don't need that and you've already got it in the right format, then you can go away with the 416. There's a lot of models from 2-bay to 4 to 5 and so on. My philosophy has always been you buy the one device that you're going to need and that should run you for a while. My Drobo, it worked great for a while, and then now I'm looking at what do I do with my Drobo.
It's kind of redundant now, yeah.
Yeah, it becomes extra storage on a PC somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Great.
I'm Pej.
I'm Paul.